Hello, my dear children. How are you all? I hope you all are safe and healthy. Welcome to our story session with Shabana. So, today I am going to tell you a story about a princess. Yes, the name of the story is The Princess Who Wasn't. How come? Wasn't? Let's find out why it is wasn't. The princess who wasn't. How is this name? Let's find out. The Princess Who Wasn't. Once upon a time, there lived a five kingdom. There were five kingdoms. Four of them were very famous and the popular and the beloved and made lots and lots of money from tourism every year. But the fifth one was small and poor and never had any tourist. The king and the advisors sat down to figure out what the other kingdoms had and that they didn't. Princess, said Larry, the king's chief advisor. Snow White, Cinderella, Rapunzel, and Sleeping Beauty lived in those other kingdoms. Everyone likes princess. We don't have any princess. How do we get a princess? Asked the king. His advisors explained the typical process of something like this, but the king decided this would take too long. So he said he should just hire one instead. Scouts were sent throughout the kingdom to find out the most beautiful girl in the land. The king and the advisors had put together a list of traits necessary to be princess and beautiful was at the top of the list. Of course, when the young ladies of the kingdom hired about the search of a princess, they all wanted to be chosen. They put on their nicest of clothes, did their makeup and hair just right, and walked around the kingdom posing and trying to look as princess as possible. Yes, it seems every girl in the kingdom wanted to be a princess. Kathy was a shepherd. She had inherited the sheep farm from her father and couldn't afford to hire help, so she ran it by herself. It was a lot of work, but she enjoyed it. She loved her sheep and she loved her life and didn't wait it to change. Unfortunately for her, it was about to change because unluckily Kathy was the most beautiful girl in the village and was chosen by the king's men to come to the castle to try out the job of princess. Four other girls were chosen, and the five of them were cleaned up, dressed up, brought before the king and his advisors and asked lots of questions. The questions were: what would you be first? Act as a princess. What does being a princess means to you? Why do you want to be a princess? I don't, said Kathy. It was her turn. She had not been given the option of not participating. She had been unable to stop the handmaidens for dressing her up in a fancy dress that was so tight around her waist she couldn't barely breathe in it. But she wasn't going to lie. "What?" exclaimed the king. "I thought every girl wanted to be a princess." "Well, I don't. I don't want to be princess. I want to be a shepherd. I want to be a sheep header, which is what I am. I don't like fancy dresses and makeup and high heels and jewelry. And by the way, why are those the thing what makes princess anyway? Who, how to say a princess can't be someone who like to work with animals or wear casual clothes, or isn't it necessary to be a skinny? Who decides that the princess has to be pretty and elegant and not do anything except marry a prince or go to the ball? So, saying, Kathy walked away, changed out of the dress they had put her in the and returned home to her sheep. The next day, while Kathy was tending her folk, a voice behind her called name. It was oddly enough the king. "What bring you here, sir?" asked Kathy. "I was up all night thinking about what you said," the king told her. "And I think you are right. It was fair for me to single you and those other girls out just because of the way you look. I think maybe Princess can be whatever she wants. So I want you to have this." The king held up the tiara, or the official header of princess. "I appreciate that, your majesty, but I don't want to be the princess." "That's just it. You are not the princess. You are a princess. I hereby appoint you princess of sheep." He placed the tiara on Kathy's astonished head, and she, he added, pointing at a milkmaid across the road who was also wearing a tiara, "a princess of milk." And over there, he pointed to another girl in another tiara, "is a princess of chocolate chip cookies." And there also a princess of basketball, and the princess of coquetting, and the princess of juggling. Yes, from then on, every girl in the kingdom was princess. Tall, short, thin, fat, pretty, and, well, let's say pretty in a different way than others. They were each princess of everywhere they were best at. And of course, with all those princes, the kingdom became booming tourist attraction. And Kathy, the princess of sheep, lived happily ever after. So, my dear children, did you enjoy this story? The princess who wasn't. Was it a nice story, children? Did you enjoy? There were so many princes around the kingdom, right? Who all were the princes? The princess of milkmaid, the princess of sheep, the princess of chocolate chips. My God, all the kingdom had lots of princes. I hope you all enjoyed the story, children. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.